Welcome to the Call to Action podcast with Nicole Magic, where conscious awakened leaders listen and action takers are rewarded. Join us for the insightful wisdom of today's special guest with an irresistible offer. Hello, everybody. This is Nicole Magic with another episode of the Call to Action podcast, where professional service providers and strategists share their wisdom. It's short and sweet because we value everyone's time and energy. So let's dive right on in. Today, we'll be talking about DIY struggle sites and turning those into digital marketing powerhouses. Who can't get into that? So we're going to do that with our very special guest today, Charlene Brown, and she's going to tell you a lot of different things. We're going to go through some important pieces of wisdom, but let me just tell you a little bit about her. She has over 22 years of web development and design experience, more than 20 years of branding experience, and nearly 2 decades of WordPress experience. So she's going to have a lot of wisdom to share with us today. And she also has a very special complimentary offer at the end. So you're just going to have to stick around and find out what that is. So welcome, Charlene.
Thank you for having me. Am I okay? Okay.
Yeah, you're everything's okay. You look fantastic. I love the hat. Got our hats on. And, you know, I'd like for you to just dive right in. And so I'm just going to go in and say, in a few sentences, can you tell us who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Charlene Brown. I am also known as the brand misfit. And what I do is I really help my clients really feel like they can understand their websites. So as a website architect, I help them build strategies around it, allow it to be a foundation in their marketing, especially their digital marketing, and allow them to know like whatever they do on social media, that should be amplifying what they're doing on their websites. So that's why it's a powerhouse. It allows people to get to know you and see everything in one location, so you're not feeling scattered. And I always love working with consultants, coaches, and speakers.
Oh, that's awesome. And I love how you brought in the word strategy when it comes to website. A lot of people are thinking, it's just a website. You just have to have all the stuff on there, but it is a strategy. There is a plan, and it's going to look disjointed if you don't have that strategy in place.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Right? And that's how I felt, starting out, just getting to understand what web design was all about. And it brought in everything, not just your branding, not just your logos and your content, but it also had to have another component. And what I always found missing was the strategy. No one knew how to use it. They knew they might need one, but once they got it, then they didn't know what to do with it. So it would just stay there getting dust and just would get no love. So they wouldn't even send people to it because a lot of times it wasn't at the forefront of their minds.
Yeah, there's a lot of letters that you can throw around, and most people don't know what they mean. SEO, yes, and SEMO and blah, blah, blah. I don't even want to know what it means. I know what it means because I too do some strategy stuff, right? But I don't want to take care of it. I don't want to be in charge of it. I want to give that to somebody. So tell me, Charlene, what piece of wisdom would you like to share with the audience today and in perpetuity that we can hear and absorb so that we can say, oh my God, this makes sense now?
I always want people to remember and take into account that if you're not investing in yourself, then why would anyone else invest in you? That goes for your business. So if you're not putting in that energy, putting in that effort, be it financial or be it with your time, then it shows after a while. People start to see that you didn't grow over time. If you're in business for a year, you should be learning and implementing, and your business should be changing. The landscape of how your business looks and feels should be changing to accommodate how you're changing, because that's really what it is. As small business owners, it's a reflection of us, and it's a reflection of the people we work with. So you want to make sure that you're allowing that to showcase and show up in the way that you want to be seen and show up. So you want to make it positive. You want to put all your good energy into it. And if you're changing, allow your website and your business to do the same for you. And your website, aside from you investing in yourself, your website should be something that allows your voice to be heard and be distinguished. Because if you can't pick out who you are from your website, then anybody can say, I can just do a Google search and pick from random, right? Close my eyes and just
Yeah,
pick anything that shows up. But you don't want that. So you want to really put that effort and energy into your strategy.
I love it. You were saying, give yourself and your website the permission to evolve
Yes.
together, right?
Yes.
Your website should be like a mirror, right? Showing a reflection of you out to the people who don't know you and really capturing almost kind of like when you're looking through old pictures and you can get sucked right into that moment, that present moment of that memory of the picture, because it's like everything is in there, the emotion is in there. Whether it's if you're goofy and you've got some crazy things on and just the people that are around you, it's telling a story. It's
Yes.
invoking an emotion, a thought, a feeling, and drawing the right people in, because it's got to be aligned with who
Mhm.
you are and who you're
Exactly.
talking to. So would you say that you're bridging a gap there, bridging the gap between who you are and who you're speaking to, and just really bringing those two together?
Definitely, because we're either doing one or the other. We're either speaking just to ourselves, and it reflects in our websites because it's all about us. We're not talking to our audience. We're not calling out the people who we want to work with. And then it reflects in who comes to us because they don't feel like they're understanding why they're here with us. We don't really understand how to reflect that to them. And then you have the other side where all you're doing is talking to your audience. So even though they're coming to the site, they don't know who owns it. They don't know who's behind it. And it's a bigger problem for smaller businesses than it is larger entities. So as you want to really connect with your audience and your clients, you want to make sure that they have a taste of both worlds. They know that you're talking to them, but then they too can see who's talking to them.
That relatability, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of people talk about that no like and trust, no like and trust. Well, it's not necessarily that you have to connect with and invest with somebody that you know, because many times we'll invest with people that we don't really know,
Yes.
but there's an element of connection that we have to have, right? So it's that piece. That's the know. I know something about you that makes me feel drawn to you and connected to you to say yes.
Correct. And I think that you hit such a pivotal point because people feel like, oh, they see you all the time, they know you. Technically, they don't. It becomes more of they're connecting either to a story that you're saying, they're connecting to the purpose of why you started your business, because they're like, yes, some people start businesses because they had family members go through something, be it an illness like cancer or be it a death, so they wanted to make the experience of mourning a little easier on family members, so they create a business to help with that. So others start to relate to that and say, oh, I appreciated that, I loved your story, I love why you did this, and I connected. That's why as soon as something happened, I came to you and I wanted your business to be a part of that and help my family through things. So it's really about not just a story of what you've been through, but maybe why your journey as a business owner began, and why do you continue to be a business owner?
Yes, so beautifully put, because it's that there is that connection, whether it's the story, there's an understanding, right? This
Yes.
person understands my situation and can help me.
Yes, yes, all of
So,
that.
oh yeah, all of that. So what obstacle became your greatest opportunity?
Oh, for me, my obstacle was me myself getting in front of the camera and telling my own story and just allowing people in to, my either my everyday or my thought process, because it's not always my work, because I don't always just want to show my laptop or my desktop, right? So it was about my process and, okay, why do I think this way? Why am I such a stickler for forms when it comes to clients, because this is why. So that's where the educational part of my journey came, for me to educate people on, this is why you do certain things. This is why your website is so important. This is why you treat it this way. This is why your content should be this way. You're getting yourself ready for whoever you do reach out to ask for help. You at least know, like, by the time they send you a form, okay, I have to have certain photos ready. I want to make sure that they're clear enough for the website, no matter what creation, because you don't know what that person is going to do with those photos. How big are they going to be? How small? So you want to give them the opportunity to really allow you and your images to shine. So for me, it was always about the educational part, but I never knew how to do it. So once I had got the courage to get in front of a camera, and I don't know if it was by the grace of God, I don't know what, the universe, somebody put us together, and it was my co-host, Carl Shaw Watkins. And he's so pivotal to me in my journey because he's all about vulnerability. I call him Mr. Vulnerability. So he's all about vulnerability and living through that and allowing it to be a superpower. And with that, it allowed me the time and the grace to start sharing my story without feeling pressure, and without feeling like I need to sell or say a sad story. Because not all my journeys have to be sad. Not all of our journeys have to be a sad journey. So it was great to have him really ease me into it. But that was my struggle, getting in front of a camera, talking, and before I knew it, having him help me. I was in front of a lot of different shows, and it's just been such a game changer for me.
Wow. And so many people have that inhibition to get in front of the camera. It feels weird when you first start doing it, right?
Yeah.
Because, um, and I've been on some TV shows and different types of things, but when you're talking just to a camera only, it's just you and
Mhm.
a camera, it is this weird sensation. And then all these things start coming up that say, oh, well, if you have perfectionism, well, my hair isn't right, I'm not wearing the right thing, or I need to put lipstick on, or whatever the case is, I'm not wearing the right necklace. All these things will come up to procrastinate instead of just doing it, right? And then
Correct.
I love how you also mentioned the vulnerability piece, because it's like that camera exposes that vulnerability. So whatever you're uncomfortable with comes up, right? Because if everything needs to be perfect and you need to look perfect, are you afraid of being judged?
Mhm.
Are you afraid that somebody's going to think less of you if everything isn't put in place? And I
And
can
if
say,
all your words aren't the same, yeah.
right, or if you stumble or stutter, or if you just tweak out and forget what you were going to say, and right, it doesn't matter, because everybody's human, everybody experiences these things, and sometimes it's those super funny moments that you can just stop and laugh and be like, you know what, I totally forgot what I was going to say, so starting over.
Yes.
Starting
Yes.
over. And that's okay, because nobody is meant to be completely entirely perfect, and that vulnerability is what allows you to be authentic.
Exactly.
And as a coach who helps people step into fearless authenticity, it's really important to be able to be authentic all the time,
Yes.
in whatever way that is. And sometimes it's being human, having a breakdown, or
Mhm.
going hysterical, laughing over something silly. that, like, what are you laughing at? I don't know. I'm not really sure. Right.
Exactly.
I saw something funny and I just can't stop laughing. So I love how you found that in your co-host, co-partner there, and do all of these things, and that was able to come out for you. Because once you do it, it feels so good, right?
Yes, it does. It was just a game changer, and it allowed me to be that example for others, because I'm an introvert, and being always on, it's exhausting. Just being around people can be exhausting. So it's okay. I've allowed myself, and I've learned that it's okay if I'm not always on camera. But when I do get on, it's not for just me. It's because I'm doing it for a reason. I have that purpose behind me, pushing me. So when I do have my shows, it's for that. It's because I know there are so many people who have questions. This is my time to answer those questions. So it's not just, oh, I'm not looking right today. Figure it out and just get on camera. So yes.
So what would you say to somebody who's in that space of they're just kind of ruminating a little bit in their heads, saying, oh my God, like, I'm not ready for this. And, I'm an introvert. I've got this camera staring at me. We're all by ourselves. All these people are going to see and say all these things and blah, 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 blah. What do you say to that person?
Find someone to help you. That's really what got me to do it. If it was up to me and I didn't have a co-host like Carl, I would not be on camera. So
Okay.
find that help, find someone, and definitely start to build a community, a network of people who can help you. It can be family, it can be friends. And they don't always have to be themselves on camera. Maybe you want just to know that someone else is going through the experience with you. They're handling other things. So all you have to do is focus on talking and maybe interacting with the audience. So it's just really about finding what works for you and getting the help, getting someone to come on with you or help you manage the technology part of it. And you don't have to do everything live. That's something else that people get nervous about. You don't have to do it all live. Build yourself up to a point where you're comfortable, and then make sure that whatever you're doing, there's purpose behind it, because that's really what also helps drive you. It is the purpose of you being on camera, helping you get your message out. Is it helping others? Is that what your goal is? And then that a lot of times that helps to really alleviate a lot of the fears.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful because, even if you do it like an interview style, somebody could just be hidden behind the camera asking you the questions that you want to answer for your audience, and it could be as simple as that. So
Yes. Yes,
you got this, all of you out there. So,
definitely.
Charlene, what is your favorite mindfulness practice? I like to ask people that because, we're all about being present and the power of presence and shifting your mindset. So, what helps you get into that mode?
A lot of times it's music. I love R&B. I love 70s, 80s, 90s R&B. That's just, my thing. Um and it just helps clear my mind. Sometimes I'm just thinking of the words, or I'm realizing how beautiful the song is, or I'm having flashbacks of, oh, well, where was I? What was I doing when I first heard this song, or something like that. But it kind of gets me off of that. I want to say that where your mind is just so filled with all that you have to do that you can't pinpoint what to handle now, or everything feels like it's an emergency. That just kind of lets me take a step back, just listen to the tunes, and then I can come back in and say, okay, let me just look at everything again and start pulling pieces out again. Okay, what can I handle? What can stay? And that's just what I do, especially when it's a buildup. Just go back and listen to some music and just relax.
Yeah, I like that too. Music is super important, and it's an emotional thing too, right? And it lets us just go into a different realm.
Yeah.
So I like that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
So now for that final question, fun question. what is your irresistible call to action for our action takers?
Well, I will definitely say my irresistible call to action is do a strategy call with me. Don't allow it to be something that you just are frustrated with your site. You don't know what to do, or you're just hiring just for the sake of hiring. If you know you have a major project coming up, you know you want to revamp your site, just take a pause, take a beat, breathe deeply, and book a consultation. That way we can go together and go through what you currently have. If you don't have a website, we can discuss what is it that you need, and then decide how should you attack that. And of course, if you need to hire right away or take some time away from that and do it yourself, you can take steps and baby steps. And if I can help you build out the strategy for that, and then of course help you with some tactics.
Awesome. So tell us what your website is.
Yes, it's Brooklyn Custom Designs, BKLYN customdesigns.com. And for the strategy session, you can go there /strategy, brooklyncustomdesigns.com /strategy.
Excellent. And for all of you that are listening, it's in the description. So go down there, find that, click the link. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, don't forget to listen to the next episode of the Call to Action podcast, where conscious, awakened leaders listen and action takers get rewarded. We want to hear your favorite takeaway from this episode. So leave us a comment or tell us what song you love to shift into a new special place in your mind. And thank you all for listening. I'm Nicole Magic. Have a spectacular day. Charlene, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone, and thank you for listening. I hope you found today's episode insightful and invaluable to elevating your own